It's really important that we get this right, because until we can get the chargers out there where they're needed by New Zealanders, we won't see the transition and the decarbonisation that we need to see as a country. The site selection process is basically a case of filling in the gaps.
One of the first things that we explore when we're looking at new sites is what the local network is already like and how much capacity is on those lines. Those have been designed to facilitate houses and shops being put on the streets. They have not been designed with the idea that somebody would want to take a large amount of power out to do EV charging.
When we design a site, one of the important decisions is how many chargers to put in, how big should they be, and what type should they be.
When I first started at Meridian, we were doing AC chargers, and those are a little bit smaller and a little bit easier to install on the local networks. But we made a shift to DC because that's what everybody wants to be using now. They want a fast charge, they want to be in and out. These DC chargers take a lot more power, and that has just meant that every site needed just a little bit more involvement in the beginning in order to get those chargers sorted. The next thing that comes along is landowners are very keen to have our chargers. They understand that they are good for the community and good for their business. But we also have, with these larger chargers, a lot more space constraints. Often with these network upgrades, we also have to put in a transformer, and those can be quite large and require easements around that. So it's a lot for a landowner to take in and to take on. And so we have those discussions early and try to get those sorted. Things that can go wrong or slow process when we're putting in the EV chargers are many. We know about some of them, and some of them crop up as we explore different sites. I don't think there's an expert in the field that we can look to at the moment. I believe all of us are finding out new things every time we take on a new situation. Every site is unique, and so we're learning all the time. The most famous one here in New Zealand is our Springs Junction charger. We knew from the start that there was not going to be any power available for us during the day. That's why we came up with a battery solution for taking that power and storing it and having it available. We knew it was going to be a challenge because no one had ever done it before. We had no idea how much of a challenge it was actually going to be. All the engineering that went into that project in order to get it over the line is amazing, but it all just takes time, and it takes a lot more time than you ever want it to.
Where do we want to see the charging network in the next few years? I guess the short answer is everywhere that it's needed. I think we'll see the incorporation of new technologies which lend themselves towards a smoother charging experience and a more efficient charging experience where we can deliver more power where there might be less power available on the network. I think it's reasonable to expect that we'll see batteries really widespread through the next 5 years. I know a lot of people are very anxious to see the chargers in place as quickly as possible, and we're working as hard as we possibly can to get those chargers deployed.
If you're eagerly waiting the certain sites and there are places that you want to see chargers, keep talking to us. We do listen, and we will explore those areas, and if we can get chargers in there, we absolutely will.